We them broke boys from the hood. We on them missions, understood. Won't catch us lacking, we that good. We always winning like we should. We flying high, we butterfly up to the sky. No way you catching us, goodbye. Pray to God we make it out alive. I'll never leave my dogs behind. We stick together like we signed. We shooting stars, one of a kind. We undefeated, just resign. Money more lower than a bitch now.
You want to do video for this one? Because we got to put the GoPros on. I'm sorry.
Isn't it already dead?
Yeah, it was dead.
Well,
That's fine.
that's tough.
Everybody sounding good? Everybody
Yeah.
Yep.
chilling?
Yeah. Chilling like a
Yes,
villain, bro.
sir.
I'm all fucking tummy hurts. My tummy hurts.
Tell me about it.
Aw. So, how was Thanksgiving?
It was chill.
It was okay. A lot of bouncing around.
Yeah.
We had to bounce around.
Any standout moments?
No.
Any standout moments?
What about
Nah.
you?
Just chill with the fam, that's it. Around the campfire, and that's it.
Just singing around the campfire.
Pretty much.
Singing
We're
around
watching
the campfire.
movies. I went to go pick up my grandma.
Oh, that's
That
cool.
way she didn't spend it by herself.
How is your grandma? Is she okay?
She's chill, bro. Living life.
Yeah.
Living like Larry.
Yeah, just talking and stuff. Catching up with her, and she's just asking me, that stuff like, well, how's the whole thing with the podcast? How are you guys? I'm like, they're good. Just stuff like that. And I don't know how it started. Like, I woke up in the morning and I told my mom, I was like, where are we going? She was like, no, we're just to stay here. And I just thought about my grandma. I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go pick her up. She goes, yeah? Yeah. I was like, why let her spend it by herself?
Yeah.
I was like, my uncle doesn't get out until 1 a.m. I was like, just why not? Like, I'll take her back around the same time.
Yeah.
And I did. I went to go pick her up, had her ready. She came, ate pozole, left, took my uncle a plate. And I just chilled with her at her house until like 1.
Oh, that's cool.
And then it was just me and Amy. And then we came back and it was chill vibe with Amy. Not gonna lie. She's on a whole nother level though.
She's in a
He said
different
first
world.
she's sour, then she's sweet.
Nah,
Yeah.
she is.
She is a Sour
I
Patch
know.
Kid.
She is like, sometimes like it's kind of hard because I'm like, I asked her, I'm like, what do you want to listen to? We're on the road. She was like, Ivan. I was like, all right, bet I'll put Ivan for you. And then as soon as we started getting close to my house, she goes, nah, Raymond, fuck that. I'm like, whoa, what happened? She goes, it's a Drake. I'm like, okay. That's it. And
It's so funny because she's like a preteen right now. So like imagine full blown teenager.
Oh
Like
my
Yeah.
God.
that's what it is with Chacho too. When we hang out, like, what do you want to listen to? And he's like, whatever. He's always like, I don't know. But he's always around us, so he listens to what we listen to. And like my brother, so he listens to pretty much everything. So then he'll go and he'll start singing like the songs that I listen to, or I'll play a song that my brother like knows and he knows it, so he'll start
Yeah.
singing. But it's just funny because he's getting attitude like a teenager. And I'm like, no, stay little.
It's like me thinking about her being a teenager, like so many problems. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, like so many problems.
But
It's
if you don't mind, is it okay if we could talk about like how you were just talking about like the college situation with your sisters?
yeah,
Is that okay to talk about?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't think they'll trip. Like it's nothing like
It's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just the truth. And
Because I know like we were saying like the whole thing of them rushing to get out, rushing to leave home and stuff like that. Like when you're at that age, like you think
You think it's easy?
it's easy to walk out, to be doing stuff on your own, or paying rent and all that shit, but it's not.
and you know what the sad thing is, bro, is I have an important role. I feel like I'm the one to blame for that because obviously I'm grown, right? An adult. They don't understand that, and they just don't like the fact that my mom's more like lenient. Yeah, like for example, when I got the tattoo, she got like upset with me for like 2 or 3 days. That's it, tops.
Who?
Right, the small one, my mom.
Uh-huh.
I got the small 999.
Yeah.
I got it tatted, and she was upset because my dad seen it first. My dad was like, obviously, te va a regañar. He was like, cabrón, ¿por qué te tatuaste? You know what I mean?
¿Por qué te tatuaste?
Yeah, my dad's like, ¿pa qué?
Bueno, man.
Yeah. And so then we got home, and I showed my mom. She was on the phone with my sister's godmother. And I had my sleeve up because it was steaming.
You got caught.
Yeah. And so I walked in, and my sisters walked in too out of the room, and my dad's like, órale, cabrón, ven, enséñale a tu mamá. My mom
Damn,
was,
he called you
"What?"
out.
Yeah, and then so she seen it, and my sisters paid attention to that. That she was just like, "Nomás me regañó." You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So when my sister Tanya brought up the topic about her getting tatted, it escalated more than it should have. You know what I mean? Because it got worse. She thought it wasn't. She thought it was gonna go the same route I did. I kept on pushing it. Kept on.
And Tanya
telling my
just
mom.
turned 16, right?
And Tanya was like, "Well, I'm 17. I'm getting it right."
Yeah, and she was just like, I don't need my mom and dad's permission. Like, I have a friend that's starting to do her own stuff too, and she wants to practice on people, and I already signed up for it. I was like, for what?
Yeah, it doesn't work. And then I think because she's a girl too, I think that plays into it because your parents are really traditional.
Exactly. So, like me, obviously, you already know you would fuck around with my mom. Oh, he's already tatted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess after that, my mom got used to it. She was like,
Well, yeah,
hearing
you're
me
like
say
ice breaking
that.
the idea.
Yeah.
So then she got mad at me.
And she got mad at you, and then she seen that I got the 999 tatted. She got mad at me for like 2 days, and bro, she was just like, Tanya was just like, what the fuck, like wow, like they're super lenient. And then I used to throw gas on the fire too. I'd be like, hey, I saw I'm mom's favorite.
Yeah.
I was like, so then it's my fault because I kept on doing that.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like I'm the one to blame because, look, I got another one tatted. And my mom, the same thing as you guys seen her reaction when I FaceTimed her. My dad didn't notice it until like 3 days later. And my mom was just like, because I went to the living room to get water. And my mom got hella pissed at me. She goes, you couldn't wait? I'm like, for what? I was thirsty, mom. Like, and then all she did was just, vas a ver, ya no más. That's it. That's all she
You're
said.
like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I was like, ya no más.
You're all
what?
scared.
She's like, ya no más. Esos los últimos dos y ya. And again, obviously, I sent you pictures of what I want to get done, the whole sleeve. And again, I kept on throwing it at her. I was like, hey, mom, what you think about this? You know what I mean? And once again, my sisters would be there, and they'll see her reaction. She'll be like, tú sabrás, paga tus biles primero. Pretty much saying yes, like pay your bills
Like,
first. Then,
do what you got to do, and then
and then Tanya and Amy are just like, that's it.
But I think that they are still really
They're also
not
young.
immature. Like, I don't want to say they're immature because they're not. Tanya isn't. I mean, Amy's obviously little.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's just different. Like, you 16 and 22. How old are you? 23.
23.
16 and 23 is a big difference. What is that, like 6 years, 7 years?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she can't get upset over.
And like, I get it too, like with how the Hispanic culture is, and like how that is a taboo, and so there's a lot of things. But I think like for moms, like they let the guys slide by, or they are more easier on the guys, and I think it's because we've justified it in our families because we're the guys that can fuck up, but women can't fuck up. You know what I mean?
It's like a toxic mindset. Yeah. That's what it is. And then it's like the girls are expected to act better and behave better a lot because they spend more time with their moms and like they're not that they're closer to their
Son
moms,
mujeres,
but like
deben actuar
like,
como mujeres.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like it is toxic, like the mindset, because then you are raised like a little like I'm a fucking perfectionist. I don't like saying it, but that's at the end of the day, that's what it is. I want to people please. I want, like, my dad can't be upset with me. It'll ruin my whole day. Like, my mom can't, like, it is that toxic. And I think the more kids you have, the easier it gets.
Yeah.
So I've seen, like, I've talked to other older children and they feel the way. And then like I talked to like my brothers or like my little brother, and it's different than what it was for us. But yeah, it's just a toxic mindset. And then it's like the responsibility part too. Like, women are responsible for the men. At least I was, but I'm oldest, so maybe that's the same things because I'm
But
oldest.
it's like how it was justified in my family. Again, like I'm saying my family because this is what I know. Is my mom was like, well, you can't get pregnant. You can get somebody else pregnant. They but they can make a mistake and they can get pregnant. My sisters,
I've heard my dad
right?
say that too.
Yeah.
You know, which is why they were harder on the women. You know,
It's the same thing from my side too. The same thing my grandma would say.
Which is true. I mean, that's 100% valid. One mistake, you can get pregnant. You're stuck with that baby at least 9 months. At least. And to give birth after that, it's okay, you keep it.
It's forever.
You figure it out, or you adopt or abort. Like, those are the only 3 options. And a lot of, at least in my family, I think that in my immediate family, I was raised that it's your choice to do what you will with your body. But I think I wouldn't have the heart to like abort.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of families that I talk to, they do choose to abort because they rather do that than like bring a baby home to their traditional families, like out of wedlock, like with no support.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why the option is like there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
which
Like-
again, it's like to each their own of that topic. But I think a lot of people don't understand how hard life is. You know,
Yeah.
and again, I'm going back to the whole thing of like we were saying about your sister. Like, it's cool. Like,
The
to
thought is fun.
The thought is fun of like, I want to move out, I want to get out. Just trust me.
Yeah.
But when you actually do it, it's a lot harder than
Now
it
you're buying your own
seems.
toilet paper and you're like, what the fuck?
No, yeah. It's
And
exactly like what I tell her. I'm like, take it from Martin's point of view. I'm like, he's lived by himself. He has his own house. Obviously, he shares half of the stuff with his sister. You know, pays rent. They both go halves on everything. I was like, but if you really think about it, imagine him by himself. Doesn't matter how much the rent is. You can't.
You would not make it in
You
this
would
economy.
not make it.
You have no, yeah.
Especially, and you know, obviously, you like to obviously knowing how you are. You really can't. You really would have to pick up shifts just to make it. Barely.
Even now, like we
Like
have,
think of I think I broke it down to you, to you when I talked about it. But I was like, let's say the average person here in Fresno, right? The rent, let's say on a good day it's 2,000, right? Just
Yeah.
by yourself, an
Yeah.
apartment, whatever it is, just 2,000. Might be high, might be
now
too
it's
low.
more than that.
But let's say it's just 2,000
2,000,
a
yeah.
month, right? Let's say you work your ass off, and your income is 2,400 a month. That means 2,000 of that portion of your paycheck is gone. So you only have $400 left to pay for your bills, utilities, phone, groceries.
Groceries are expensive.
Groceries are expensive, but let's say your phone bill,
$100.
Utilities, 150.
150.
What are you left with? You're left with $150, and that's for gas,
You have to have
groceries,
Yeah.
To live.
to live. If you have credit card payments, you have to make those credit card payments.
And you're not even counting what they take off from the Social Security.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's
you're not even counting that. Technically, it's not even 2,000. Let's say it's like what 1,700. Minimum.
it's crazy. Even now, like there are 4 of us that live here. Everything gets split in 4, and even that, I'm like sometimes our portion of the 4, I'm like our bill is 4 times this amount. Like it's insane. Our electricity, insane, and we have a 3-bedroom house.
Yeah. Don't even get me started with the whole thing with the electricity and the solar thing. Because this whole time, like our bill comes low for $100.
But then you have to do the tune-up bill.
Yeah, the tune-up bill, bro. Oh, they be trying to get my dad, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, at the house on Clinton, we were paying like $200 a month for like PG&E, but then they'd get the tune-up bill, and that should be like $5,000,
Yeah, bro.
$6,000,
They
and
be
it was
trying to
one
get
time.
'em.
And my dad be like, "Where the fuck am I gonna pay this?" And it was always at like around Christmas time. Like, how the fuck am I gonna pay $5,000 on top of everything else? And it was just crazy. The solar was crazy.
That's what I was telling my sister. I was like, look at here, look at this house we're at. I was like, you're telling me Dad will be able? Dad can do it on his own, right? There's only to a certain extent. I was like, you got to keep in mind. I'm like, I understand. I'm like, you got a good mindset. You got a good head on your shoulders. You want a career path that you.
What
can
does she want to
see.
do?
She wants to. What is it called? It's having to do something like to check pregnancy.
Cosmetology?
Nah, it's not.
To what?
Oh,
It's where you go and like they like when women are pregnant and then they do the little thing.
Oh, the
Pediatrician.
ultrasound tech.
Yes, she wants to do that.
Oh, the
And-
ultrasound tech you can do quick. It's vocational school.
Yes, and she I'm telling you guys, she's super smart, bro. She has more credits than what is required, and she's taking so many extra.
She wants to
classes
be a
for no
nurse?
reason. Yeah,
Yeah, the nursing program I heard is hard to get
she
into.
wants to. She wants to take. She's taking like extra shit on the side. That way, she can go into a 4-year college right away.
Yeah.
So she was telling me, like I said, I had to sit down with her. I was asking her to say, so like, what are your thoughts of doing? She was like, oh, I want to do that. I was like, okay. She was like, I talked to my counselor. I'm thinking about going to not really college. It's some
They have Reedley College, but
Madeira?
Madeira.
Oakers? They have Oakers.
Well, they do have one, but it's another one in bro. Where's it? Where do we go for the dispensary? I know there's a college out
Merced.
there.
Oh, UC
Merced.
She wants to go there so bad.
Yeah.
UC Merced is nice.
Yeah,
man.
she wants to go. She took a field trip there and she wants to go. And she was just like, she told her her counselor and everything like that. She was like, I want to go there. She was like, what do you have in mind? She was like, I want to do this. And she had it so
Mapped
planned
out.
out for her. And then she was like, yeah, you got this. You can do it. I was
Yeah.
telling her and I was like, you can do it. I was like, don't get me wrong. I was like, but try to find other solutions to get it done faster. If you want to get it done faster, I was like, I know you're smart. You can get it done faster other ways. I was like, don't just because they tell you, oh, you got to go through this. And if you feel like it's a long ass, I mean, obviously it's a long ass process for everything. But, you know, I was like, don't take no shortcuts. If they tell you, hey, there's another program on the side, nah, I was like, because that adds up.
Yeah.
I was like, everything adds up. I was like, you got to keep in mind, if you even will have time to find a part-time job, or even if dad is still working under, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if he's going to get enough of
Or
a
grants and
retirement.
scholarships, too. She just has to put in work for those.
Again, that's even if she qualifies, because remember what Ramon was
Oh
saying.
my God. That's what I'm
Well,
saying. Like,
it's hard. I don't understand how so many people in high school got financial aid. Like I don't understand truly.
I don't. Like, I was one of them. Like, I tried to go ask, and they're like, how much your dad make?
Yeah, and it was too much.
The first, like, they
Yeah.
focus on, like, they're like,
Like your dad's whole paycheck is going to you.
yeah. And, bro, like, I didn't even have to tell them. He's like, what is he working? I was like, he's in the union. He's an iron worker. No, you don't qualify. And I was like, what? I was always so curious. And then one day he shows me a check stub, and I was triple digits. I'm like,
So that's
bruh.
why.
I was like, that's why. And that's why I wasn't really never like, oh, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to college. Nah, because now, obviously, I was used to work in construction. I see why. And I told my sister, was like, well, I can do it off you. I was like, no, you really can't. I was like, because the time I was
You have
working,
to prove all that.
I was like, yeah. I was like, and plus, you don't know, like, I could be making the same thing as dad, and it would be the same shit. I was like, Mom don't work.
Yeah, it's hard.
So there's there's no really help at all. I was like, if you really think about it, hon, you know, going back to that, and I had talked to my dad way before about it too, and he knows it because I told him, I was like, I tried to go to college, but I couldn't.
Yeah.
And my sisters tried to talk to him too about it. He said he's gonna work less, and then he's gonna focus on that because he wants to move back here. And I was like, but how's that gonna work if Tania's gonna go to UC Merced? I was like, how's that gonna work if we're gonna move over here? I was like, she's gonna drive twice as far.
Yeah.
Because then if that's the case, then she would have
Unless
to get
she
a
lives over there.
dorm. Yeah. But then even the housing, like that's another expense. You know?
Yeah, it's another expense not only for him, but I would have to help out as well.
Yeah. And then she would have to. I know the people that live at dorms. They have to get another job to pay for their living.
Well, some of the
costs
dorms pay, like if you have FAFSA, some of the FAFSA covers your dorms because it's all included in your tuition. So it kind of just depends. Tell her to go to Fresno State. Tell her to go to Fresno State.
I've tried to, like, I like, she even went to like other, like, I guess, like, you know how they have field trips in school? They took it to like so many other colleges, but that one just stood out for her for some reason.
I'll say this about my personal thing about college: it's cool and all, but you don't need college to be successful.
I think it depends what you want to do.
It depends on what. Yeah, exactly. It does depend on what you want to do, and if that's what you want to do in like career wise, then by all means go for it. But don't go to
Because you
all
feel like
these,
you have
all
to.
these other high topped, schools, universities, whatever it is, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where the fuck you come from. It's just a fucking piece of paper.
Yeah.
And then all the sacrifices you got to do just to, at least, all the sacrifices you're gonna do just to get rejected. That's what I was telling her. I was like, that's something you have to really focus on. Like, if you're gonna go to college for that, go just for that.
Yeah.
don't get sidetracked because you're going into a class where there's a bunch of people that are doing the same thing as you, but then
But to be honest with you, bro, everyone goes to college to get sidetracked with también, papas.
Well, not
No,
even
yeah,
get. I don't think
that's-
sidetrack's the right word, but like you go to college and you
Or
find
they get
things
distracted.
That,
They get
no,
distracted in a
even,
few things.
or even that you go to college and you find you're like, okay, you take this course and you're like, no, I like this better than what I'm doing, and then your course
We're not
changes.
talking. I'm not necessarily talking about course
Or
changing.
you're talking like parties.
I'm talking about parties.
It's
I'm talking about the people
for example,
that you get
it's like
influenced.
when I completed my first semester for business administration, like obviously there was people taking it and they were like, I'm just taking it just to see what it was.
Yeah.
And so then obviously then there's other people who were like, oh, I'm just doing it for the money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
But I think it depends. And knowing Tanya, she's not going to go and just party.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it because of that. But I'm saying that, like, for example, like, let's say there's another person going for the same thing she's going for, but she added more things onto it, and then I'm like, if someone adds more to it, and there's like, oh, I'm gonna make this much, just because
she's
you're gonna make,
do that.
don't do that. Don't.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Getting easily influenced by everything else.
Don't.
Yes.
Like,
no,
go
I get
for
that.
what you're gonna go for.
I'm saying that just the easily the direct distractions of it. Like, yeah, you're not going over there to party, but a lot of people have colleges that just.
I think if you want to
they
get in
get
that,
persuaded into doing stuff. They get sidetracked.
I think if you
and that's okay if that's what you want to do. But you're going with people that don't have that sense of freedom, never had that taste of freedom.
But I think
and they go wild.
Being
You know what I
in
mean?
college though,
Yeah.
like being in college, and I've been at college for a while, I think you need to find those crowds. Like not everyone is going to school. Like I've made friends at school and they're on the same track that I'm, like the same mindset that
Right.
I'm on. Like you almost need to find the people that want to party.
That are from
Like you want to find, like
Yeah.
you have to find them. And if Tanya's personality is like that, then she'll find them. But like for me, I wanted to make friends in school. I do have friends from school and they're on the same mindset that I'm at, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, they can hang out with their family or the little kickbacks they do have, but it's not like the full blown frat parties. I mean, they're there, but I think you have to find the people to like network that way if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. See, that I'm just.
But do you think Tanya's like that?
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, a little influence in that.
Let's
little
retract.
girl.
Let's plead the fifth on that one.
Well, she's 16 right now. So much changes.
I think just like I said, the taste of freedom, as you know, coming from a household that you're prohibited to do a lot of stuff.
I guess.
And this is why I'm saying I'm scared of both.
Yeah.
I'm more terrified of Amy.
Oh, Amy.
Because she keeps rubbing it in my face. And she looks at me, she goes, I'm going to be just like you. I'm like, what do you mean just like me? She's like, yeah, doing drugs in middle school, just like you. I'm like, don't do that. Nah, I'm going to be just like you. I've tried to sit
That's
down.
what happens. That's what happens when you influence
I've tried to sit
it.
down, bro, and talk to her about that shit. And she's
I mean, I
just
feel like that has to be a core memory, right?
She's like, nah, like
I didn't do it, but I know people who did.
I was like, you don't want to be something else? Like, you don't want to do the sports? Nah, just like you. And like, she says it in the most serious, straight face, like not even laughing or
Like
smirk.
sinister,
Like
fucking.
sinister,
Like condescending.
I'm doing it.
No, like dead ass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to be just like, I'm like, but what? Why? I'm like, there's no fun in that. I'm like,
Well, maybe she's just trying to say it just to get under your skin.
Yeah.
But if she is, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. We've all gone through that path.
It's not the worst thing in the world. Like, yeah, you don't want to hear it from your sister.
As long as you get out of that path and you find yourself again, that's.
I mean, even if she doesn't, like, God forbid she doesn't, but it's just weed,
shit.
dude. Like, there's so many other things she could be doing than weed.
I mean, the worst thing that she. Never mind. I'm not gonna say anything like that. Because I was gonna be like, well, she can't be like me. But then I was like, no.
You weren't even that bad.
no, bro.
Yeah, you're right. I wasn't that bad.
You know what? No, the other thing that scares me a lot too. No, check this out, bro. She's been getting a lot of clear Sprites. Does that not throw something at you?
No way.
Clear
She's
Sprites
putting
and
shit in
Jolly
there.
Ranchers.
Yeah, she's putting some shit up in there. I mean,
Swear to,
Wow.
bro, hey, I swear to God to you, bro. Jolly Ranchers and Sprite,
and she
bro.
puts them in there.
I said,
And she puts them in there.
yes. I was like, dude, where'd
That's
you
a
get
little. That's a little too familiar.
Where did you find that? And she looks at me. She goes, "Who do you think?" I'm like, "There's no way you ever caught me." She goes, "What?" I'm like, "Dead ass." I was like, "Why?" She's just like, "I don't know." Like I don't know. Like I seen you on it. You're just quiet. Like why? Like and then she's like, and then she also heard the episode with Juan. and you know how he gave me some, and she seen how the next day how the whole reaction thing, and she was just like, from there on out, bro, started getting clear Sprite with Jolly Ranchers, bro. Then my mom caught on to that shit. Oh boy, I got my shit chewed out. I swear to God, bro. Like they had a
see, bro, because you're the bad influence.
they had a dead ass. That's what I'm saying. Like I blame myself for that because bro, they had a whole ass family meeting because of that. Bro.
Family meeting.
My mom
damn.
was just like, "What the fuck? Like, where's she getting all this from?" I'm like, I don't know. She's like, "Did she see you?" I'm like, no.
Did she see you?
And
But even if that girl got technology, she don't got to see you.
Yeah.
exactly.
She'll see
She
it.
looked up to XX. She looked up to Juice World.
Oh,
Like, there's
my
so many
Suicide
people.
Boys. Come on, bro.
bro.
Lil Nas X. No, wrong dude. Wrong dude.
Little Xan, no.
Lil Xan. No, not
Nah,
Lil
what was the
Xan.
other one? ¿Cómo se llama el otro?
What was the other one dude that she loves? Lil Uzi Vert.
Hey, that's my boy. Fuck yeah. I'm telling you, she started listening to obviously.
But they all had cups of lean and shit like that. You know, they had Sprite and shit
you know
like
who else?
that.
Playboy Cardi. Oh, she's
Playboy
a
Cardi
huge
did it a lot
Playboy
too.
Cardi
That's
fan.
what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. It's bound to happen. She's bound to see
It's
it.
inevitable. That's for sure. When you got to get introduced to this shit.
And
Regardless.
she was like, "If you ever buy some, you better lock that shit up." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "What the?" She's like, and she'll try to like, "Come on, Raymond, like when you get some, let me have some." Like, you stupid, bro? Like, nah. Like in
Yeah,
what?
she's
In
one you have to
what?
watch out for.
In what earth? Like, do you think I'll give you some? And she's just like, bro, she's like that. Like, she'll be like, "Hey, where you going?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to the store real quick." She was like, "Can I go?" I was like, "All right, what do you want?" First thing she goes to, her clear Sprite, her little bag of Jolly Ranchers, and she's sad, bro. And then like she gets like this candy, this purple candy mix, pours it in there.
What the fuck?
I'll send you a video, bro. The next time I catch you doing that shit, bro. I walked in on her, bro. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, I don't like
Oh,
that.
I'm on that shit. You're on, Raymond. I'm like, "Oh, hell no." I'm telling you, I'm scared. I'm scared for that little girl, bro. Dead ass. I'm being legit honest with
Maybe
you guys.
she's gonna
I
get it
am
all out of her
scared.
system. In middle school and like mellow out in high school.
Let's hope and pray that she does.
I told you, I was like,
And you know what? The good thing is that she's gonna have you for guidance and your sister too.
I told her, I was like, okay, like, don't do that shit. I mean, I understand, like, you want to experience that feeling. I was like, but
Maybe, or let her try it once and maybe she doesn't like it.
Or no, don't let her try it.
Well, she's gonna try it anyways.
Okay, then.
But I'm saying not with you, but I'm like,
No,
maybe
not with
she
you.
tries it and she doesn't like it, and then she's like, "Fuck that."
I'd rather have her in my supervision than having someone
Yeah,
else.
but I'm
pour
sure your
that
mom
shit.
and dad wanted the same
I
shit.
think you shouldn't know regardless.
Oh, but
I
That
think
is not your journey.
I think it shouldn't be anybody's journey. If it's her journey, it's gonna happen. if it's because she comes to you and confides to you, then it's a good thing because she trusts you, and you should keep that bond. You feel me?
yeah. Like, I just told her, I was like, don't ever let me.
But I don't think you should be like, oh, you know what? If you're gonna try it, then try
Yeah,
it with me.
don't.
I don't think you should influence it.
I don't. I'm just like, I tell her, I'm like, just don't ever let me catch you. Because if I catch you, that's like, you think mom's going to be worse? I'm like, no. I was like, obviously, you already know. I have personal experience with that shit.
See, but you're already
Just
telling her to
don't let
hide
me
from you.
catch.
But you're
I was
already
like-
telling her to hide from you.
And as like the same goes for mom. I was like, I tell my mom all the fucking time. I'm like, you check those girls every single fuck, especially at the time, bro. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like she's hiding something from me. Like me, I'm gonna be honest with you. The only way, like, I'll just get over with is if, like I tell everybody, like, if I smoke just a shit ton on my birthday, after that, quit, no more. I just want to get that shit out. Just smoke a shit ton till I get frustrated that day, and that's it. I'm over with. No more after that. Like just.
I feel like
just for
it's
the
not.
hell of
I
it.
feel like weed isn't a bad. Granted, I think my example is my dad. He smoked weed and he's still provided and done everything he had to do. So in my head, weed's not bad. Like in my head, you can, like, nothing comes bad from weed. I got into it during the pandemic. I started smoking. My anxiety was through the roof, and then I haven't been smoking the past probably like 6 months, huh? Like I'd smoke here and there like once or twice, but I haven't smoked. Like I can't even tell you where my pens are right now. Before I used to have like 3 pens on me.
Well,
I can't tell you where the hell it's
I got
at.
secondhand smoke yesterday, but that ruined my fucking.
Well, no,
streak.
like I haven't done anything in so long.
But
And, like I gave all that shit up because now it's my career. Now I can't, and I don't want to risk it. Like, to be honest with you, like talking to how all those truck drivers and like saying like talking about those risks and talking about all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to risk any of that shit.
Yeah.
A DUI can fuck your life over.
Facts.
And I'm just like, I don't want to do any of that.
What's
shit.
the other one? What's the weed one? Is it
Driving under. Well, it's all
DWI.
driving under the.
DWI, right?
Driving
so
while
they also have that.
intoxicated.
Yeah.
Under the influence.
Under the influence of marijuana or anything. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't get me wrong. I have the same thing sometimes. Like, I go to stores and I see the backwoods or I see the Dutches, and I'm just like, nah. I just fight that shit and just walk out. And then there's sometimes like when I think about it, when you ask me like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, almost like want to just smoke the fuck out, and then after that, just it's done.
Just
like,
stop.
And that's your birthday, man. And like
Execute
I
that shit
think
and keep that shit out
since
no
you don't
more.
have like you don't have any restrictions on it, fucking do it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, but okay, like,
But if you need, the thing is like you're good at self control. You don't depend on it.
Yeah.
that's another.
But
good
like
thing.
Kat said, like her father is a good example of him. Yeah, he does it all the time, and he's high functioning all the time, and that's fine.
I think it's just different. Like,
this is how I see it, though. If you can get your bills paid, you can get everything paid. You're up to date.
that's something that
Why
you're
not?
good.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But then there's other people that fuck it up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That just like.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's who your examples are, and like the thing.
Yeah.
Like I saw my dad, like he needed it when we were younger. I think his anger was a little wild, so he would smoke to like calm down. Like my mom would be like, "Go smoke and then come talk to me," because he would like get upset and he would calm down after he smoked. So
Right.
when I was younger, I was like, I don't want to depend on something to like to manage my emotions. So I never did it. Some of my siblings decided to try it earlier. They liked it. They didn't like it. That was up to them. I decided not to until the pandemic. But by the time it was pandemic, I was already 22.
Yeah,
So I didn't smoke anything until I was 22 years old.
yeah.
Because the pandemic was 2021, 2020.
2020.
Then I was 21. And I hadn't smoked anything until I was 21.
Yeah,
And then
that's true.
I'm 24 right now.
Damn.
And I smoked probably consistently through the pandemic. So 2020, 2021, 2022.
Yeah.
And then 2022, I was smoking like every day. Like when I wasn't working or when I wasn't around kids, like I was at home getting high.
Damn.
And then
Yeah,
this year, I kind of just fell off because I don't like how I feel the next day.
Yeah.
Like your
nah.
breath smell. You go to bed. Like I used to smoke before bed because I couldn't sleep because I had anxiety. So I'd smoke before bed, and then it literally my breath would smell all fucking night. And then you wake up the next day.
cannabis.
Yeah, you wake up the next day, and then you feel groggy, and you have a headache, and you're like, what? You feel like literally hungover
Yeah.
from weed.
Yeah.
So then I was like, fuck that. I don't like feeling like that. So I stopped it.
and like for me, it's like the whole thing with alcohol. Like you get these examples, right? Like I never wanted to be essentially like how my dad is
When he's drunk.
when he's fucked up, and like we had so many fucking arguments. We got into so many fights. Same thing with my mom. Like I just didn't want to be in that position. I never wanted to be in that position ever in my fucking life.
Yeah.
And they ruined a lot of my own like my own thought process of a lot of shit. And I was like, I never
Yeah.
want to be like that. I never want to be like my father. I never want to be like that as an alcoholic. I despised of alcohol. That's why I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm never gonna do that. And then like I had so much built up anger, and when I was a kid, I was like, you know what? Like I used weed.
Yeah.
I would smoke. I would take gummies. I'd do all kinds of shit. But then I never abused it. That's the good thing is I
Yeah,
always
see,
had self control of it.
We all did.
Yeah.
During the pandemic, especially. 'cause
The pandemic spiked it again because
It
I was.
spiked, yeah.
But I think a lot of
stopped.
people anxieties were high during the pandemic because it was essentially like, I mean, the world as we knew it was ending.
Yeah, and then that's when like I felt at my lowest again because like I felt
Because you were like,
I never believed in anxiety. I never believed in depression.
Yeah, nah,
I never believed in any of that
Depression.
shit because of what we grew up in. And then
And then he met me and he's like, you're fucking crazy, bitch.
The pandemic happened, and I always like, not that I clown Kat for it, but I kind of told Kat like, I don't believe in any of that shit because of what I grew up in. Like you just fight through that shit regardless of.
I think
how
I think he believed me, but I think he thought that I was being dramatic.
Yeah.
Like I told him how I felt, and I literally would call like crying. Like I was anxious and I would call him crying, and he would be like, "Calm down, you're fine." Like he calmed me down, but I think that he thought I was being dramatic. Like I don't think
No, she's right.
I don't think he truly
I didn't truly understand.
know how I felt.
That's just how it
I
was.
remember those days because we would all be hanging out. We'd all have a smoke session, and I just remember, and he'd be like, "All right, guys, I'll be right back." I'm
And
like,
he's
"Oh,
on the phone with me,
shit,
and I'm like crying.
And then, like I said, like I never believed in that shit until the pandemic too. It was like, I feel like the pandemic we were out of hand because it was back to back.
The pandemic definitely like
That pandemic, it was
it was like a worse year for a lot of people, but it was the best year for me, to be honest, because I achieved a lot during COVID.
yes, that too.
But my anxiety, my depression was at an all time fucking high. Like,
But I think
was
that
at my
kind of worked.
lowest,
I think that
lowest.
kind of worked hand in hand though, because you were here alone. Like, yeah, you moved out and you were doing it, but you were here by yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, that never helps depression or anxiety when you're like alone.
And like what helped me out, and like obviously like you Kat helped me out through it, but it was also like hanging out with the guys and having the guys around like
7 days a week.
little by little, bro. Like the hidden thing is like even having you guys around repaired my broken heart, repaired my broken,
because you weren't alone,
my broken soul, because I wasn't alone with you guys.
Yeah,
and it made me happier every time that I was with you guys.
It like I said, bro, it was an everyday base. It was like a 7 day week, 7 days a week type every single day. Back to the same thing, the same routine over and over and over and over again. That's why I'm just like now, like when I see like the stuff that I used to drink, like Patron and all that shit, bro, that shit disgusting to me now. And we used to take that shit like champs. That's just disgusting to me now. Like I can't tolerate that no more.
Yeah,
I'm just like, nah, like this shit's nasty. Like I see that shit, dead ass, bro. Like,
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like I tell the girls because they slowly start finding out all that shit. And they're like, damn, so you started smoking at a young age. You this, you that. I was like, okay, but doesn't mean you have to do the same thing.
Yeah, it's to better yourselves at the end of the day.
I was like, why do you want to go to school with your mind fried all the time?
Yeah.
Why? I was like, me, it was a whole different shit. To me, I was just like,
And you thought like that was like okay. Like I remember doing the same shit, like going to school and my not even being like there mentally.
yeah.
And it wasn't. What was it for? Nothing. It was just for the fuck of it.
To be honest, it's almost like
Just
a
like
waste of
wasting
time.
time,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's like a waste of time, and you're just in the bag, just mind fried as hell. And the teachers just look at your eyes and like, yeah, this fool's on one. You know what I mean? Like I told them, like, nah, like I was like, I started at a young, bro. I got influenced bad on weed when I was young, hella bad, bro. Like that shit was like a best friend. I was like, damn, bro. Every time I get together with my cousins, oh, it was nothing but a straight smoke sesh. All the time, bro. That shit can't even be left out. Thanksgiving. Oh, hey, let's go to the back, cousin. Oh, fuck it, let's go. What's it called? Christmas, New Year's, same shit, bro.
Everything would be a smoke session.
Everything, bro. Every holiday, every birthday party, you name it. And then, I'm just like, fuck. Looking it back, and I'm like, God damn, bro. Like,
You're like, we're ODing it over here.
I was dead ass. I'm like, holy shit. And coming back, and then you're fried as hell, and everybody just knows it.
Yeah.
And you're just over here paranoid, like, oh, do I smoke?
Yeah.
No, you good. And just with your eyes all red. That's what I'm saying. Like, don't.
The sad truth is like, you see it as like our parents, their poison was drug. Our poison was weed.
Fuck yeah. Hello, that shit was, oh my God. That's what I'm saying. Like I told him, I gave him advice. I'm like, don't do that shit. It's not worth it. You're not going to gain anything out of it. You're going to make yourself worse than you already are. Especially. I was like, especially if you're already in that depressed mindset where you're down all the time.
Yeah.
That's not going to pick you up. I was just going to make you way worse than you already are. And why
I
do
just
you
feel
want
like
to be worse?
they have to experience it. Like, obviously, you don't want them to.
At this point.
But, like, they're going to have to see it and, like, learn from it. Just like we learned from it. Just like they're going to learn. They have to learn firsthand.
Yeah.
Because you can tell them till you're blue in the face. They're not going to believe you.
And depression's a fucking bitch. That's for sure.
No,
There's no
facts.
Man, fuck
conflict.
depression.
There's nothing that you can do about it. It hits you. It hits you like a fucking truck. And
You
there's
can
no
manage
way.
it, but I don't think it ever goes away.
I don't
never
even
goes
think
away.
you could. It's just depending on how bad it is. Like how you said, you can manage it, but I feel like some people can't. Like if they have it really, really down bad, I don't really think they can manage it like that. To be
I just think
honest.
there's always a way to come up. Like, yeah, you're down bad, but like you have to make the conscious decision to get better. Like
You can use it
you need
Anyway.
to get up, because if you're depressed and you're down bad, like I know what that feels like. You have to make the conscious decision though to not stay there, because the longer you stay down there, the dangerous it gets. The more you think it's fine, the more you think like, oh, I don't have to go visit people, I don't have to talk to people, I can stay here and like in your own thoughts, and that's the worst place.
In that aspect or that atmosphere.
You get comfortable.
You
in that
have
hole
to
you're
make
in.
the conscious decision to
It's
get
like,
up.
no, like, yeah, like it's hard to get up. I know it firsthand. It is hard. And like for me, I mean, my whole thing was like, fuck, like I'm still depressed. I still am dealing with depression as it is. But I think I found my own way of using it as fuel. I've always found it as fuel. I always found it as like, nah, I'm gonna figure it out. Even if I'm fucked up, down and out, I'm gonna fucking figure it out. And my drive always beats that. So my thing is like, I put everything into my craft, everything into trying to better myself, to put us adelante, to have a career, because I don't got one going for me. So I got to figure that out. So now that I got to figure that out, I'm executing that shit to the fucking fullest. I pour my heart out on the platform, and I use this because this distracts me from being in my darkest thoughts. So that's how I found my way out.
That's what it is finding like things that you like to take up your time.
But I feel like once I don't have any of this, or once I don't, then
it gets bad.
Then it gets bad all over again.
That's what I'm saying. It's just that you have to have things that pull you out.
Because that's the sad part, bro. When I don't record or I don't see Ramon and we're doing anything with the podcast or anything involved with the podcast, then I just feel like I'm not doing anything in my life, and I'm down
Well, I
and
think
out
it's
all
because
over
we
again.
feel like robots. Like if you don't do things you like, and we're just going to school and we're just going to work, like you just feel like a robot. Like what in there are you doing for yourself? Like nothing. You need to do something that like a hobby or a skill that you want to work at to like get out of your head and like be a person.
Have it as an outlet. I mean, the gym was an outlet for me, but I haven't gone because of COVID. Why? Am I still scared of it? No idea.
I know we've gotten it twice now.
But I don't know why. Just the thought. I don't know.
Damn, where'd you guys get it from?
All I just need to do is just go to the fucking gym.
We got it from you. I got it from you. Yeah. Really, we got it from Tanya, but that's beyond the point. We got it from Tanya, who gave it to Ramon, who Ramon gave it to me, who I gave to Martin. And then the second time, I got it from Martin's coworker. Martin brought it home, and then I got it. And then, is it 3 times?
You got it the third time. I didn't.
When did I get it?
You got it. I don't know how, but you came back positive, and I was worried that I was going to get sick.
Yeah, I came back positive.
Damn, bro.
I don't know where I got that third one from, but
I think you got it from your sister.
was she sick too?
She was sick, but she didn't get it.
But she
from
never
her.
tested positive, huh? Yeah, I don't know what it was, but
You got it from that Rona girl. But as I was
and
saying,
Rona boy over here. Dude, I was at your house and everything. Your mom was giving me medicine in case we got sick. Yeah, we didn't even know Tanya had COVID yet.
He didn't either.
No, your mom was giving Tanya medicine. No, your mom was giving Tanya medicine because she was sick.
She was sick, but
and she
she
was
didn't
giving
know.
us medicine too to bring home. And then the next day you called and you were like, "So Tanya has COVID." And I was whole ass sitting next to her at your house.
Nah, because look, I noticed something was up because before she found out she was positive, she was laying in bed.
She was already sick too,
and she was just like, nah, I don't feel like going nowhere, guys. Like, I want to stay home. Like, I don't feel good. My body hurts and aches. My mom never had that thought. I looked at my mom. I was like, body aches. I was like, that has to mean something. But didn't have any other symptoms than just body
and that's
aches.
the weird thing with COVID is every symptom was fucking different.
And so I don't know. One day, me and my mom, I woke up feeling like shit, complete shit. Like I was dying. I was like, damn, this is what dying feels like. Woke up, bro. I couldn't even move. Walked up to my mom. I'm like, Mom. My mom was just like, I can't even move, son. I was like,
COVID.
I was like, yeah. And she goes, shut up. I'm like, oh fuck. Then we went to my sister's school. We all got tested. We all came back positive.
And then he calls and he's like, "Hey, so we all have COVID and you guys were just at my house." And the next day, guess who wakes up sick? Me.
That's tough.
It was.
That was a wrap.
And then after that one was bad.
And Miss Cat was just spreading it like wildfire.
No, and then Martin's the only one that got it. No one else had gotten it.
No one knows.
See, bro, that's why I was just wild, bro, how that shit works, to be honest with you. But
And we thought we were being careful.
for real, bro, we never got hit with that shit, bro. We'd always be careful. Like, and we came in encounter, bro, with so many people that were positive.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's just your immune system and what like.
My immune system was fucked up. Like, all
That's
the
what I'm
shit that I
saying.
was
How much of the virus you get?
Yeah.
I was just like, bro, I thought smoking. I was like, yeah, they smoking finna kill me.
There was no when I got it bad was that day that I went to work. I was working that full day, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna shower, and then go and clock into my second job. I wasn't feeling good at all.
He came home sweaty as
And
fuck.
I was telling Kat, I was like, I don't feel good. I feel groggy. I feel like I'm just dragging my feet. I'm so tired. I'm so like fucking meat. And then I was right here at work, bro. I was sluggish. I was like tired. I was like gassed out.
Bro, I was the queen of like, let's take a COVID test.
I was like, my head feels like I'm about to explode. I felt like I was in a third person.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
I remember you were texting me. You were like, bro, like, I don't know what the fuck is going on with me, bro. I feel like I'm dying. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like,
yeah, so he finished working over there and then he came home and he fell asleep. And the next morning he slept in. And I was like, something's wrong with him. And he was sleeping in, cuddling with Tulip.
Bro.
Yeah, and I was like, where's your inhaler? So I gave him his inhaler. And then I was the queen of like, my thing is I see my grandparents a lot. So my thing, I even had a tickle in my throat. I was taking a COVID test because I didn't want to give it to anyone. So anytime something was wrong, I was like, let's take a COVID test. Let's take a COVID test. So that morning when we woke up, he was cuddling with Tulip in our bed. And I'm like, what's wrong? And he's like, I just don't feel good. He's like, where's my inhaler? We found his inhaler. That shit came back positive the second it hit the water.
damn.
That was over. And then I called my mom and I was like, Morton has COVID. I don't know what to do. And then I got COVID.
I could not breathe. I was like in my head. I was like, I should just go to the hospital, but I was like, no, I'm not going.
Yeah,
But it was almost scarier to go to the hospital.
I should have gone, bro, because there was times where I was catching myself, like I was not breathing. I was like trying to breathe from my mouth, like
day,
manually trying.
It was
to
only
breathe.
that first day that it was bad.
I was just like, fuck. I was just like, I'm not gonna lie. When I was sick, bro, like my parents couldn't smell anything, cause both of my parents got it too, and they couldn't smell. They had that sense of taste. I was like, I'm taking advantage of this. That ass,
my
bro.
boy was ripping ass.
Nah, no, bro.
Crop dusting him and shit. Hey, man, let one rip.
Nah, I was like, fuck it, bro. I would go out and smoke, bro. They been having COVID, bro. I've been walking in that bitch, stinking that shit up, and my mom would just be like, "My mom, can you smell?" She's like, "Nah, no sense of taste or smell." I would take advantage. I was sick as fuck too, but I was just like, fuck. And that one time I went out to smoke, bro, that shit scared me because I was like, oh shit, like my chest just started hurting. I was like, I think I'm dying. I'm gonna have a heart attack right now. And I was like, fuck, but yeah, bro, that shit's scary though. COVID was scary, bro. I remember like in the news, bro, they were hella trying to scare people.
Remember they were like, we're just gonna close for 2 weeks. Yeah. And it was like a whole last year, a year and a half.
I remember, bro. Remember when it was like when they were like putting like where they're saying, oh, it's spreading here, spreading there.
Yeah.
So you remember when they say it spread in Hanford?
Yeah.
I was working in Hanford, bro. I was so fucking terrified. I was working in construction for demolition.
I remember you had mentioned it
And
that one of your coworkers got in a fight.
They got in a fight, and I came home, bro, and they turned on the TV, bro, and they said, "Oh, first case found in Hanford." I was like,
You said, hell no.
I was just there. My mom was just like, I think you're fine. Like, I think you're fine. I was just like,
You're like, I breathed air in Hanford. I'm
yeah, like straight up. Like I was like, what the hell? And then I still had to go back to work until they got more serious. And then they're like, nah, guys, like we can't have you guys working anymore.
I think that was the scary part is like there were no vaccines for it.
And there was
Like,
no what's going to happen or
They didn't know anything. They didn't know what to give you to make you feel better. I think my mom got it because they found COVID March 2020. I think my mom had it December because we went the December the year before because my parents were already going through whatever they were going through. And my mom got really sick. And I remember calling my mom and calling my dad and being like, we need to take her to the hospital. We need to take her to the hospital because she couldn't breathe. Like she dead ass was like in her bed, like not like breathing, but really hard. And I remember telling my dad, like, she's not good. Like, we need to take her. And my dad was like, they were going through whatever they were going through. So my dad's like, you do what you feel like you have to do, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I took my mom to the hospital. They dead ass told me that she has a virus. They didn't say what virus. They said, we think she has a virus and you need to buy a pulse oximeter. So we had to put that thing that goes on her finger to make sure that she was getting enough oxygen. And they said that if a number drops below 80, you need to take her to the hospital. You need to bring her back. So then in December, I would check her every 2 hours through the middle of the night and make sure that number was above. She was like 91, 92. Like if it dropped into the 80s, we had to take her. And she was so sick for like 2.5 weeks.
Damn.
And I took her to the doctor. The doctor was like, she has some kind of virus. They didn't know what kind of virus. They just kept saying she has a respiratory virus. Like it's in her lungs. Like we don't know what it is, but you need to make sure she's getting oxygen. For like 2 weeks, dude, my mom was down and out, like down bad. Damn. The doctors weren't giving her shit. They were like, do your best, like buy the pulse oximeter. And like, as long as it doesn't drop and she's able to breathe, like keep her home. And then they told us to quarantine. They said, well, since you don't know what it is and we don't know what it is, keep her quarantined. So she was in the room by herself. And then I would go in there with the mask and I would like take her, do her pulse and stuff.
You know what it was though, bro? It's like they even said it. Like the government even said that COVID was already there in the United States. COVID had already existed in a lot of cases. They just didn't know.
They didn't know what it was,
and they didn't want to scare. They didn't want to scare people until they realized that this was
it was what it was.
You know what they did to cover that up though? And prove me if I'm wrong. When you know how they have an air base, they have an Air Force over here up there in San Diego.
Yeah.
So do you remember when they brought that one sick patient to San Diego? Once that person stepped foot in San Diego, from there on out, it spread it like wildfire all over here.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just him because they had the whole cruise ship
that was coming in, and they were already sick.
They quarantined everybody in the cruise ship.
They had to stay on that cruise ship.
Yeah.
Was that free? No. Or did they have to pay?
No, it was they paid for the cruise, and then wherever they stopped, they got sick. So then when it docked here in the States, then they had to quarantine on the dock. So they were docked here. And doctors would go in and out, nurses would go in and out, but they were not allowed to leave.
They had them on the port, like nobody was able to leave the cruise ship. Everybody had to stay.
So everyone was on the cruise ship, like in their room still.
And there was people, I guess, like even like recording and being like I can't even get out.
Yeah.
They like locked them in there because they didn't know what it was.
Damn.
And it was in contact with so many people. Like if you let those people out, that every person that person talked to essentially would get sick. But imagine being on that cruise ship, like, oh, there's a virus, we don't know what it is, but you need to stay here. Yeah. Like that's terrifying,
bro. Nah, hell yeah. Like I know this shit's hella off topic, but like you know all those TikTok videos, bro, I be sending you about saying like how they found like a underground Chinese laboratories with.
I see some of those, and I'm like, how true are they?
Yes.
I just want to know how true
with,
they
like,
are.
Rats with like STD, HIV, and like unknown diseases.
Well,
that
they test medicine on animals. That's not a secret.
Yeah, but
my thing is like
it's underground.
That's my thing is like how true is that?
It's not just there, and really, it was like in other places here that they had found. Who would have thought, bro? Looking back then when we were in school, bro, who would have thought we would be in this position where we'd have gone through all that lockdowns and you name it. And obviously now they have I don't think we can call it medicine, but if you get COVID now, I know whatever like doctor or pharmacy you go to, you tell them like, hey, I got COVID, and they give you like pills.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for it now for free if you get COVID.
Okay. That's
why I was tripping too, because my mom was like,
I never heard of that. Yeah.
Because Kaiser gives out pills, Medicine Plus for COVID. And I remember when we got it the other time, my mom was like, nah, let's go to Kaiser. But we didn't really have it that bad to the point where we were just like, damn, we're down bad.
Yeah.
Nah, it was just like the headache and the soreness of bones, and that's it. And we called Kaiser, and Kaiser was like, yeah, you can come pick up medication. So we did, but we never took it because we didn't need it. Very, very weird ass name though for medication.
Very random, huh?
Yeah, very like, bro, it took you this long to come up with this.
This is just how it is.
Yeah, bro, it's wild, man. Like, hopefully nothing else like this happens in the future again.
Yeah,
with a whole ass iPad. How that I'm beautiful. Yes.
Okay.
I will say this though, COVID has, I would say, like a long-term effect. Like I feel like I have my lungs are messed up.
Yes.
Because like, you know how I was telling you I was having trouble breathing and stuff. I feel like I breathe less than normal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean, they were saying all kinds of stuff about it. Like you would have like short memory loss too as well. Like a lot of stuff. Like a lot of like after effects that would stay forever.
Like side effects.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
they were legit studying those people, having them step aside, and we're just like, no, we're gonna study you guys.
Yeah.
And there was one like how you're saying had trouble breathing, and they had to go through like some type of therapy just to get him back to, or like not therapy, but like what is it, rehabilitate,
Rehab.
rehab. There you go, just to get him back to where he was running and all that stuff. And with the whole memory loss thing, I was like,
Yeah, my lungs are fucked. Like I feel it.
nah, my lungs being fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, and then you have asthma too, so
Yeah, that's another
Exactly.
thing.
that could be like another.
But like I always knew like you know like when you
Like you know it.
You know
Yeah.
it. You know it like when you're just like hold on,
Something's
like I don't I breathe a little bit longer than this, you know?
Uh-huh.
So I noticed it. I noticed that shit.
What is the other ones where I don't know if you ever seen them on TikTok where they pull up and are like, oh, do the army, hold your breath for 15 seconds.
Yes.
Bro,
I try to do that and I'm like, hold on,
There's
I
no
can't.
shot I can do that.
I fake that shit. Yeah. No, I was
Breathe
like,
through your
nah,
nose.
yeah.
I got it.
I got that shit just to be like, all right, bro, I'm dying type shit. You know what I mean? So I don't tell myself that I'm dying, but
Yeah.
I'm just like, holy fuck, bro, I can't. Puta marihuana.
Puta.
Puta marijuana and those fucking Dutch, dude. Ay, so puta madre.
Yeah.
God damn, bro.
Well, this is an interesting topic that we got into, you know? I do appreciate it though.
No, from
Thanksgiving to talking about childhood to
Just-
credentials, schools.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, hey, listen, guys, that's us. I'm sorry for that, guys. I really do apologize, but that's just us.
No, but thank you for opening up about the whole thing, the thing about your sisters.
Yeah, that way I can obviously they'll listen to it and they could hear from what you guys would have, you know, to, because like I said, I try to, you know, I'd hit you up like, hey, bro, I'm having trouble with this shit.
Yeah.
How can I approach them in a more like, hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like I even told him, like, for example, take him. You know what I mean? Look, he's doing the best he can to provide not only for him, but for everybody around his circle.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that means a lot. I'm like, you guys should do the same thing. Yeah, you guys have beef with, you know, with so and so in the family. Okay, fuck it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean you have to rush out and leave.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay,
Bro, stay home as long as you can. Don't cap. Stay home as long as you can.
Yeah.
If I didn't get with Martin, I might be
she took my spot.
at home with my parents, with one of my parents, because it's hard. Like the thought of it is not.
It is.
The thought is fun. The thought's like, oh, for me, I was like, oh, I'm gonna come live with my boyfriend. We're gonna like start our life together, which is all true, which is fun. But then you're going to school, you're going to work, you're trying to pay bills, you're trying to still be a daughter, you're trying to still be a sister, you're trying to still be like all these other things on top of just, okay, my bills are
Yeah.
paid. Like it's so much more than just, oh, I moved out, I live on my own. Like, yeah, that's cool, but
And then it's also a huge risk. Like to be real with you, it's a
Yes.
huge risk to move in with your partner because you don't know whether it's going to work.
what if I moved in and hated the way he brushed his
Yeah.
teeth?
Or she moved in and hated the way like I have everything organized.
Or I'm a mess. I'm a hot ass mess. What if he didn't like that I had a mess?
And again, like I feel like you have to know what you're signing up for when you get into relationships, when you
Or when you move out with anyone, not even partners.
And it's not easy to moving in with a friend or anything like that because
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be partners.
Different
Moving in with
lifestyles.
anyone is
Yeah.
hard.
then
Different
it's like, okay,
lifestyles.
you're used to like, let's say, for example, me and Ramon, we have a great friendship, right? But then we move in together and maybe the lifestyle that you're used to is not the lifestyle that I'm used to. Or maybe I'm clean and you're dirty or you're clean and I'm dirty. You know what I mean? Or there's no set boundaries and
There's
you
just
don't
things you have
respect
to
my
consider.
boundaries and you don't respect you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that you got to consider when you move in with somebody. It's not as plain and simple. And you might be thinking like everybody else has been thinking, oh, but we're friends. Like that's not going to affect our friendship. That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter.
It's always going to affect it. No matter how close you are, no matter how long you've known this person. Because when you live with the person, it's completely
It's
different.
different.
You're here 24/7, bro. You're
Dead
know
ass.
what I
Like you have
mean?
no space.
at all. That's what I'm saying. Like I tell them, like, what's the urge? What you gonna gain? You know,
That's what I used
like
to-
in this economy, you can't tell me you can get an apartment and then get your dream car.
Dude, I used to think people would I'd be like, oh my God, you still live at home and you're 25? Bruh, it's fucking hard out here. I used to like judge, no cap. I used to judge and be like, oh my God, like.
Well, that's why like I pay attention to a lot of shit more. Like it's cool. Like I know that I see a lot of my friends that have flashy cars and all this other shit, right?
That's the other thing
But
that I get in my head about.
But then I'm like, okay, cool. But you're living with your parents.
Or I see all my friends on like,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, well, we're traveling here, and we're doing this. And I tell Martin, why don't we do that? Like, why don't we leave? And he's like, yeah, but they're also living at home. Like, they're also not having to worry about rent or their bills or like anything.
Yeah,
that's my struggle as I look at other people and I'm like,
it depends on the
situation's always
the culture.
different.
If I'm not mistaken. And obviously, you know, some people get it for free, other people don't.
Yeah.
I'm on that. That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people
Did you
like
say I'm on that?
you live with your parents. I was like, yeah, I live with my parents, but I still have the same responsibilities like if I'm living by myself.
Yeah.
Like, I pay rent, I pay for food, I pay for everything. You name it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I can get you can get your flashy ass car, but once you're out, like, how are you gonna keep up with a monthly payment? Throwing it out there, $600 to $800, and then you're in an apartment that's like way over the budget, and it's like $2,000. Altogether, that's $2,800. When not including your other bills, your phone, etc.
Your car insurance, your
car insurance,
utilities. Your
that's like
phone
easily
bill,
like
all kinds of shit.
That's a lot. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like it. Like I understand. Like people were born in that lifestyle where their parents have good money, steady jobs, they get the kids whatever they want. I'm just like, damn.
And then I get it too. Like, there's some parents that don't understand how life is now. That they're like, oh, well, like I can do it back then, like you can do it now. And it's just like
The times are not the same.
Back then, it was completely a different time.
Yeah.
Back then, your wage at work can cover a house. Now
Yeah.
we cannot.
Nah, shout out to my pops. He's that way. My dad's like, he'll tell me, but like, yeah, like back in my day, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I understand. Back in your day,
Back in the day, you can own a home and 3 cars and make the payments for everything. No,
And
man,
your
you can't
job
do
was
that.
made so that you can do it successfully.
exactly. And now you telling me you can go get a car off the lot without having to pay an arm and a leg for monthly payments?
Hell no.
I'm like, come on now. Like a lot. I mean, like I said, like a lot of people, like how you guys said, a lot of people just be getting it because they live with their parents, so they have the extra funds.
And that's cool. That's cool
Is that their
they do
vibe?
it.
You do that.
Yeah, if you could do it like that, that's dope. But eventually, there has to be a goal. There has to be an outcome. There has to be a reality check to it.
Or like the real test is when their parents was like, all right, you've been here for too long. Now it's time for you to spread your own wings. That's when the reality or the test is gonna hit them.
Or even like this. Like, what if your parents aren't gonna be there forever? What if something happens? What if they're forced to retire and they can't pay for all the shit that they have no more?
Damn, that house payment's on me. Fuck, nah, fuck you, bro. You
But
had
it's
to bring it. I was like,
But you gotta think about that shit.
nah,
you know?
that's facts.
And then I think that's like a lot of cultures that are like driven with family, driven with being for one another, right? I feel like a lot of cultures depend on whoever is more successful or the kids to take over that role for them to be taken care of. You know,
that's
and that's just how I feel because I'm like, I want to be able to help out my mom and dad and give them their space and give them their thing because they don't got nothing.
I mean, inevitably, that's what's going to happen. Our parents are going to get old. We're not going to put them in a nursing home. I'm not putting my mom or my dad in a nursing home. So we have to make enough where, God forbid, my mom gets injured and can't work and can't afford her house. She has somewhere to go. She has somewhere to go. My dad has somewhere to go. His parents have somewhere to go. Our siblings have somewhere to go if they absolutely need it. And that's why we're trying to build what we can now. So when we get older, it's easier. And no one has to feel down and out. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's working. Everyone has a place they can run to. That's like communal property.
Now, like I see it. Now I understand why parents are so like. Now I understand why my parents are so strict about it. Because it's true though. You know, God forbid something happens, I gotta take care of that. I gotta take care of the house payment. I gotta take care of everything. You know, utilities, you name it, bro.
Yeah.
And let alone itself, bro. Like our mortgage, bro, barely went down, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Barely, bro. By like $20.
Yeah.
Cause $20 because of the whole thing with like, what's it called? Tax. The tax for the house and all that stuff. And I told my sister, I'm like, look at that. That's paying almost $1,900 for rent. Not for rent, for mortgage. I'm sorry.
For mortgage.
For mortgage alone. Plus on top of the Wi-Fi bill. We don't got cable, but we got Netflix. What else? The solar, food, phone bills. Like, can you imagine how much that shit is? I'm like, think about that. I'm like, if God forbid something happens, who has to step up? Me. I was like, that's why I'm over here trying to set everything up. That way, I don't have to be like, I don't get caught off guard.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. You know what I mean? I'm just like, y'all got to think about that. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to move out.
No. It ain't that simple, bro.
No, it's not.
It's a lot of shit that you got to sign up for, and it's a lot of
responsibilities.
It's a lot of drive, and it's a lot of like that mentality. Because
and you learn as you go. They're not gonna.
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
They're not gonna know all this and be like, okay, I'm ready. You know.
No,
like
you're definitely
learn
gonna
as
learn.
you go.
No, they're gonna stumble upon rocks a lot. I told them, you're bound to thump.
And
rock
the point
here and
is to learn from the mistakes. Make the mistakes. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
Failure is the best teacher of life.
No, 100%.
And you know, like I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of older heads that have failed more than us, and they'll tell you advice and give you advice, and we can do with that information as we please, you know, and learn from their mistakes and hopefully do better.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we're gonna perfect it. We're also gonna make mistakes also.
Nor are we really gonna listen to it if we don't want to.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. But damn, bro, I mean, it's tough, bro. Especially now. Sometimes I'm just like, shit, take me back to the old days.
I keep seeing these posts, and it was like, damn, I should have been buying a house in 2005 instead of being in first grade.
Yeah.
Bro, I be seeing that shit. I'm like, really? Really?
Yeah.
Nah, that's just like, yeah. It's all harder now.
Oh, I know. But if you're willing to win, if you're willing to fucking grind for it, then you're gonna do it. So don't quit, don't give up on that dream, but don't get sidetracked either.
That's a big one right there. Sidetrack. That's why I'm like, I told him, I was like, you follow your shit, follow your dreams. Don't let nobody cut your wings. Like, do that shit. It don't matter. If your dream is like, if someone else sees your dream as a foolishness, let them. I'm like, as long as if you're gonna secure your bag, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. By all means, a win's a win at the end of the day.
Yeah,
You're the one that's gonna do the sacrifices. They're not.
for sure.
I was like, you got that.
For sure, absolutely. Well, I'd say we got a lot out of our chest today.
Yeah.
Well, we appreciate you guys for listening. We appreciate you guys for being a part of this episode. Ramon, give out our socials.
Follow us on Instagram, Broke Boys with the Z_FF. The same for our TikTok.
You know what we forgot to do, guys?
The intro.
Run the intro. Run it right now.
We forgot to do it on both the other
Run the intros. Do it right now.
No.
Yeah, just play it at the end. It's our outro song.
Wow. You see how quick
Hold on, we're going to think about it right now. Thank you guys for listening. We love you guys. Peace.
Bye.
Peace.
Should I say peace too?
Yes.
Peace. Ew, I sounded like a one.